Welcome back. We're still in fly form. We're trying to look at the computer. The activity log told us that somebody tried to blow up all 3 domes, but someone prevented this dome from being destroyed. Although we don't really know why. Let's take a look at the projects. Let's see, what can we find here? Genetics Projects Inventory. Primordial Soup. Feasibility study of metabacterial transformations in terraforming and space colony applications. Well, that's a soup can we found, so I would like to know more about this project. Project goal: to create a survivable and highly adaptable metabacteria to enable terraforming on planets currently unsuitable for human habitation. I have no idea what a metabacteria is supposed to be. I mean, I know what the word meta means, and I know what the word bacteria means, but the combination of the two is just nonsense to me. It would be maybe a bacteria that makes bacteria or something, I don't know. The metabacteria will serve as a base for an artificial food chain on selected planets, synthesizing complex proteins as a natural byproduct of its metabolism. To put it in terms of the layman, it will eat poison, giving off water, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and producing a rich organic base that other introduced organisms can feed upon. In essence, the metabacteria will create a living primordial soup. Sounds useful. Experimental summary. After 3 months of preliminary trials, the bacterial strain Caseus velox has shown the greatest promise. The vigor of this species is impressive, and its astonishing reproductive rate makes it an ideal candidate for our purposes. Something tells me something went wrong with this experiment somewhere. Primary experimental trials will bombard Caseus velox with harsh radiation to confirm hardiness and test adaptive ability. Placing a petri dish of the bacteria behind a computer monitor for a period of hours will expose it to harsh radiation conditions similar to those on an uninhabitable Class D planet. Later, we shall repeat the procedure using a safer type of radiation such as a gamma ray source. You know, this really makes me happy that we switched to LCDs rather than CRTs. They were not actually that dangerous though, but anyway. Science log, stardate 3234.22. Initial results with Caseus velox are encouraging. It thrives in a radiation environment as long as adequate food sources are provided. We are well on our way towards engineering the first true metabacteria. A few specimens have manifested undesirable genomes after successive trials. Steps will be taken to cull the recessives so that the entire population isn't compromised. I believe we have discovered and removed all remaining undesirable latent genetic traits in Metacaseus velox. The next step will be to introduce live mice into an environment prepared by Metacaseus. Several subjects have demonstrated teratogenic side effects as a result of ingesting the primordial soup gestalt. The mice have turned into slimy, foul-smelling, bad-tempered meta-rodents with attitudes. It seems that Metacaseus has infected the DNA of the mice, much like a virus. This is an unprecedented event. Further studies indicated. Quite an unprecedented event. Since when do bacteria behave like viruses? They're two completely unrelated life forms, but anyway. Also, I have the feeling we see here the first case of our mutation. Aye, we got points. There must be something interesting on this page. The experiment is not progressing well. Several test subjects have begun mutating wildly. The morphology of the creatures is singularly unrodent-like. They resemble nothing so much as ambulatory piles of goo with teeth. Sounds cool, I'd like to see one. The only thing which appears to have any effect on an affected specimen, short of killing it, is the application of extreme cold at temperatures below -200 degrees Celsius. That is cold. Cell mutations are slowed dramatically. Where did we go wrong? So apparently, the way to at very least slow down the mutations is extreme cold. Well, we sort of already knew that with the cryo-freeze, of course, but maybe we can use this information if we want to combat some other mutants. I don't see how at this point, but who knows? Okay, final page. One of the metamice bit and infected one of the lab techs today. We're putting him into cryonic hibernation to slow the progress of the disease, but I'm afraid that without a cure, his chances of survival are non-existent. The experiment is a failure, and is scheduled to be terminated. Now what am I going to do? I've got an entire warehouse full of this slop. HH. Well, my guess is that at this point he contacted Captain Quirk, or maybe the other alien, to dump the stuff. Which is the toxic dumping that Beatrice, at the beginning of the game, was complaining about. Okay, let's take a look at the accounting menu. Maybe we can find some more evidence in there. Let's see. 120 gig SCSI drives. I find it depressing to think that SCSI would still be used this far into the future. I don't know how far into the future it is, but I know it's far enough into the future that I would not expect them to still use SCSI. Anyway, and I'm sure that 120 gigabytes seems really big to the people who created this game. And now I have, well, about 20 times that amount of storage just on my PC. And it was quite expensive as well. 2,955 buckazoids. Classification R&D. A 986 at 66 megahertz. I'm guessing that's what it means anyway, because that's the usual notation that was used back then. Again, running afoul of the fact that Intel doesn't actually name their chips like that anymore, but still. An Amigo 9000. Sure, why not? Astro Chicken 3, which is classified as research. As a researcher myself, I have to say, fairly accurate. Blow NS card. Probably a reference to some kind of computer hardware as well, but not entirely sure what. I'm missing the pun here. Anyway, it's classified as research. A BST Suavo 48633 for R&D purposes. They got two of them. For some reason, the second form was more expensive. I don't know why. A Dandy 2500 SUX furniture. Okay. An external 900,000 baud modem for research purposes. I don't really know if that's fast or not, because a baud is a flexible unit, depending on how many bits are actually encoded in a baud. This might be quicker or quicker than the number makes it seem. Because the old 56K dial-up modems were not actually 56,000 baud. They used lower baud number, but used special encoding to encode more than one bit in a single baud. Anyway, not important. Again, probably not as fast as an actual internet connection nowadays, regardless of what they meant. AHP Ramjet scanner. Aren't Ramjet a type of jet engine? Why would you have a scanner with that? J50 keyboard controller. Hey, and this is interesting. Rames T. Quirk has been given 50,000 buckazoids as a bribe. I'm sure that wasn't on their annual research budget statement. Why they keep it in the accounting records is already quite a mystery. Anyway. And there's more of them. This must have something to do with the dumping he did for them. Corona Ale cases for 30 buckazoids, classified as testing. again, seems perfectly reasonable. A laser pet 3, not entirely sure what that is, but it's miscellaneous. Liquid nitrogen cans. Liquid nitrogen? I can't offhand remember what the temperature of liquid nitrogen is, but I'm fairly sure it is below minus 200 degrees Celsius, so that would be useful. Madam Zorba, consulting. I have the feeling that this is a different kind of consulting. Anyway, Max LC, Mitsuzuki monitor. What, did Mitsubishi and Suzuki merge or something? A Ninjitsu 520 gigabyte SCSI. Novelty teeth. Oh, these are classified as personal. A phony camcorder. Classified as research. And programmer cubes, whatever they are, classified as incentives. I guess they would give them to the programmers. I don't know what they are. Are they like sugar cubes? I have no idea. Well, we'll continue to read the accounting section. I don't think there's much more of it, but anyway. In the next video.